a Monday market review, October 21st. It's about just after 12:30. Make sure I'm looking at the right, broadcasting the right thing. Just kind of want to go over higher time frame here. So last week we were inside of this full 50% retracement from basically the October low to high in the Nasdaq, and it traded on Wednesday. We staged a rally out of that. We broke out of the opposing shorts and have continued to spend time above that. And then we've been basically just coming right to what is the 61 or 30. It's either the 38 of the higher time frame draw. There's probably buyers there, and also the 61 of the halfway back from Wednesday's low to high here. And I have the extended session turned off for this draw. And it's interesting because if I actually show you guys here on a 5-minute, it's drawn to this high, but the hourly looks like it's not drawn to the high. Maybe that's just a glitch in the charts. I'm not actually sure. So there are different highs on the hourly candle and the 5-minute candle. I don't know why that is, but anyway, I've just continued to see basically, yesterday or Friday, I should say, a whole lot of nothing. And then today we rallied above the overnight high, ran stops, and then basically a straight round reversal, and then below what was, I think, the overnight low. Also, we took out Friday and Thursday's low and then reversed. So that kind of tells me we're not really going anywhere. And I would really just continue to focus on this range, which is 20,550 on the top and anywhere from 20,390 to 20,360 on the bottom of the range. And I think those are just going to be your areas of interest. Everything in the middle right now is, I think, low probability. You can scalp it, but as far as looking for bigger moves, it's going to be a range until that range breaks, and that range is defined here in the levels that I'm going to share by these dashed white lines, kind of that top and bottom of the range. And that's really all I have. I mean, higher time frame, obviously this market's bullish here. I think we'll probably get new all-time highs shortly after the election, and maybe some consolidation going into it. It's November 4th is not far away, guys. I think it's November 4th is 2 weeks. It's two more Mondays away from today. I think the election's on November 4th. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. I do think we continue to have a bullish bias into it. But right now, I'm expecting kind of retest of these levels until we get a cleaner move to the upside here in the Nasdaq. Now for the S&P, if you guys remember, we have that 3:55, or it's a 3:50 p.m. anchor, the time from the October 7th Wednesday high here, and this is traded multiple times. Now the 50 is untested. We very well could come down and check this before moving higher. We traded the 38. We rotated into a new high. We failed to complete targets, and if you kind of have adjusted back down here. So I would just watch, maybe for a retest of this 58.56, and if we push lower than that, then you got that 58.37, which is roughly 20 points below the S&P 38. But that's really all I'd be interested in trading. This was also here today. I believe it was a 78% of the fib range of this entire range. Let me draw it up. Yeah, basically the low is at 78% of the range here, which is interesting. But once again, it's the outer edges of the ranges that are producing entries, not really the middle. Once that move started lower, it was just straight down until we put on a single print, which is just, that happened right here, and then we basically be a bit above that. But yeah, I don't really have anything much else to say, although oil I think was probably the best trade today. Just looking at the analysis I did from the phone, I mentioned this was trade we were talking about on Friday. Oil, guys, is coming out of a retest of this weekly level. Okay, we're going into what is looking to be like another Trump victory, which is, I think, positive for oil companies, not necessarily the price of oil, but like as far as a regulation perspective, which is kind of interesting. But we had an extension target hit on Friday. We came down, caught a retest of this bid, ran all the way up into that same anchor new low, the 38% retracement at 70.17, and then straight down into a 50. That upside target is a 70.86. But once we complete that, I definitely would watch this next measured move. But oil coming out of what is a weekly halfway back long. I mean, I got to go back like probably 5 or 6 years. I guess the lows of 2020, so 4 years ago, roughly almost 5 years ago, too high. We've been sitting on this. We tested it in 2023. We obviously have tested it here in 2024. We've just been building this multi-year wedge, but this support has been consistently an area of a floor or a bid, and I would expect a reversal kind of back up to the top of the 76 range out of here. This extension will eventually break, but until then, just be aware that it's resistance. But I think this oil market is probably the cleanest setup to here as far as holding, a trend, beginning a trend. I'd definitely pay attention to that. Gold is just on a freaking tear. Man, if we could see a deeper pullback here, that'd be great. And what I would look for, ideally, really the first thing I'd look for from a daily pullback perspective is this swing low from October 15th, the high. If we could get down into there, it's a 27.05. I'm going to set an alert there. So let's bring some of these old alerts up because I don't think they're getting hit anytime soon. But, for this is the 5th day, basically green for GC. And we continue to move higher. But yeah, so I'll share these levels with you guys in the room. Once again, I'm not trading day, but I just kind of want to go over here and pop in a video and kind of frame up for the week. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Take care.